Well, hello and welcome back to the Andrew Eborn Show, where my very special guest with an update on talent is timeless. I'm delighted to be joined by Saskia. How are you doing, Saskia?
Hi, I'm very good. Thank you, Andrew. How are you?
I am amazingly well. I'm delighted also to see that you have been joined by some of your musicians socially distanced. Who have we got?
We've done our best. This is Aeron on the guitar and Coco, who will be singing some harmonies with me.
Coco singing harmonies from miles away, which will sound brilliant. I'll tell you what we should do. We're going to get an update on Talent is Timeless in a moment. It is launched today, but perhaps we should start the show, as they always do with these classic shows, with a song. What have you got for us?
Absolutely. Let's start with a song that I wrote on the sofa right behind you, Coco. This is called Since When. As the waters tumble down rocky land and the wind whips through the leaves, the sound of rain as it trickles down feels like it's reaching out to me. Asking that we remember them as our cities gallop forth. Taking more than we're giving, drowning silence with waves. Since when is the world not enough? The mystery within doesn't please us. I am gazing out over Notting Hill from the life that I built at the endless sprawl of the people's will and the Grenfell Tower of guilt. I wonder, when did I turn away from the earth and who I am? I was silent while these things were replaced with the glamour of Zone 1. Since when is the world not enough? The mystery within doesn't please us. Now I mostly don't give to charity, except for one that I trust. I want to help everyone in need, but I can only give so much. Our times are so full of turbulence in our minds and in the streets. When even one makes a difference, many more will join with me. Since when is the world not enough? The mystery within doesn't please Thank you.
This is what I love about doing this show, is that I get serenaded personally in amongst millions of others. So all these live gigs that we're missing, this is my little thing in the living room where it feels great. Now the songwriting competition, it's never too late to be what you might have been. I mean, that's the sort of thrust of it, isn't it? Just give us the headlines for Talent is Timeless.
Well, it's a competition for anybody who is 50 years or older, and it's free to enter, and it's all about the song. So we've tried to remove all the other factors like the youth or the popularity of the performer or their social media stats or anything like that, and we are looking for the best undiscovered song out there written by someone who is 50 years or older. And the reason we're doing it that way is, number one, it was to connect people during the lockdown and in a safe way and have a lot of fun and bring them together, but it was also to make a point about ageism in the industry. I see no reason why people who are 50 or older should feel discriminated against, like their music isn't welcome or like their songs would be less relevant just because they're older. That doesn't make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to any of our judges or businesses that got involved. So
fantastic. And you mentioned about judges and businesses involved, and actually you've got a very rich talent bank of judges and businesses who have also, some of whom have been on the show talking about their experiences and why they got involved. We had Mickey Blue on a little bit earlier. Tell me about some of those judges.
Well, we have Ian Matthews from Kasabian, who's someone I've known back since I was a waitress in a jazz club. And he's seen my whole career progress. So when I asked all the judges the questions like, what motivated you to get involved? And he said mostly like you were emailing me all the time, but also that they believed, that he also believes that talent is timeless. He had an interesting story, actually. He was over 30 by the time that he got into Kasabian, and he'd kind of assumed that he wasn't going to make it in the industry because he felt that the window for that had passed. And then all of a sudden he was invited to tour with them, and it went well, and they invited him to stay as part of the band. And he couldn't believe that he was then playing Glastonbury main stage after looking at it as a musician at 30 years old, thinking like, I've missed my window for that. So actually he's an amazing advocate for our cause, for Talent is Timeless. We've also got Chris Difford from Squeeze, and who also runs songwriting workshops, enabling people to tap into their creativity, and Tony Moore from Iron Maiden, who I think we will speak with at some point.
Absolutely, my old mate Tony Moore, not only Iron Maiden, but also Cutting Crew,
Cutting Crew, yes.
Nobody ever mentions that anymore. I just dining rounds tonight. It's going to be good. I know we'll talk to Tony a little bit later. And also some people from the business community as well, which is very important, because we always make the point that we talk about show business. That's what it is. You get part of the show, which is the creative side, and that's the songwriting, the performance, but not necessarily for this competition, but the songwriting side. And the business side, you need to understand how to navigate those shark-infested waters, don't you?
Well, you do, and unfortunately they are shark-infested. But that's why we've set this up for the winner. They also get, not only do they get a record deal and recording at Abbey Road and a track and some music and some promotion, but they also get consultations from sort of leading industry figures like Jay or like Chris Pani, who's part of Henton's, and they're there to sort of take people on and say, how can we help you progress? Where do you want to go with this? Do you want to be put forward as a songwriter? Here's several ways you can do that. Here's things that you need to look out for that actually have nothing to do with songwriting, but if you are going to turn it into a career, those are the essential differences between someone that loves writing music and plays it at home and plays it with their friends, and someone who makes that their business and their profession.
Oh, fantastic. And the other great thing which you're doing is you're assembling a wonderful community with tips and tricks to navigate through the business. I mean, as a songwriter yourself, how do you normally go through that creative process?
I usually start with a strong feeling, so I'll get the urge to write, and some kind of like something buzzing in my brain that's like, Saskia, sit down and get this feeling out. And it usually transforms by the time I put it on paper, but it will bother me until I sit down and start creating. And I can feel it happening at the moment. It didn't happen for like 6 or 8 months with the pandemic. I wrote almost nothing and was focusing on recording and other stuff, but at the moment there's a couple of feelings flying around that I'm going to try and catch and put into a song, and then hopefully when I play the song, it like a record player, like it shares that feeling back out with anybody who listens to it, and then can hopefully feel what I felt when I wrote it.
Fantastic. Well, introduce the next song you're going to play for us. What was the feeling behind this one?
A really good one. This is a feeling of total freedom, and of just remembering that we can choose how we create our lifestyles, and sometimes it's easy to forget. We can feel trapped by circumstances or even by our own minds, but that's not true. That is something that we create with our minds. So it was a reminder that we are free, and this is called "Let in the Light."
Let in the light. I love it.
Okay. Life moves around yourself as you move around the edge of a little point in space. And when you change, those flashes for life touch you on the inside, and you do not remain. So keep those treasured people near, 1,000 memories so clear. Don't compromise your way, 'cause you get one time upon the earth, time that isn't worth anyone who doesn't spin like you. So don't waste your time with those who don't know who you are. So step forward into life. I want to see you shining bright, brighter than the sun. And the path laid before your eyes will open up so wide if you should decide to not waste your time with those who don't know who you are. Let in the light, 'cause you are free.
Indeed. This is moments, you see, when you should be having rapturous applause and it just needs clapping briefly. And I mean, do you make... I do. I can clap loudly. I can do very loudly.
I'll picture everyone at home clapping as well. It's all right. I hear you. I hear you.
They are absolutely lovely, and I love the sentiments of your writing. Don't waste your time with those who don't know who you are. How did you meet your fellow musicians?
Oh well, now you're digging into it. Coco and I went to the same school, but not at the same time. But we had mutual friends, and got back in touch recently.
Okay.
Aeron, I met recently, and you can say how if you like.
Well, we met through a canal boat community.
Yeah.
I booked a canal boat and met a whole bunch of new friends, lots of new creative friends, and
it's lovely to meet. There are a lot of creative people on the canals and a lot of musicians, and yeah, Aeron's one of those.
I know. I love the canal boats. In fact, I bought my daughter a canal bout. So
really?
Yes, so we'll have this discussion offline.
Yeah,
I'll tell you about it. It's glorious. But a fantastic community. You're right. Living on the rivers is just superb, isn't it?
Yes, it can be.
It can be. It can also be quite cold.
It seems that there are as much problems as there are benefits.
Yeah, but what I love about it, when we're talking about housing crisis and things like that, people living on the boat, it's actually relatively inexpensive, isn't it?
During the summer it will be. In the winter you spend a lot of money on keeping warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And you can be moored in some of the most glorious places in London. And I'm just in the heart of London by Regent's Park. And you can have the mooring there and you can go along to, obviously, Camden and all that way. Stunning.
I had a friend who had a boat in London, which is why I got interested in the canals in the first place. And I used to love going to visit and like helping her move the boat through these iconic parts of London. And we'd stand on the front of the bow and like sing the Titanic song. I'm going through King's Cross or Islington or like.
Maybe not the best song to sing. I love it. And how are you at the locks? Are you good at doing the locks?
I'm not much help with the locks, I have to say, but
practice makes perfect.
Yeah, practice makes perfect.
Oh, it's so brilliant. I love it. Well, just to remind everybody, I mean, entries are now open. You've already got over 1,250 people the last time we spoke. I'm sure it's almost doubled by now. Anybody can enter if you're over 50. Tell us about we talked about the judges. Tell us about some of these amazing prizes.
Well, the top prize is a record deal and recording the winning track at Abbey Road Studios. Cafe Nero very generously agreed to playlist the winner in their stores, and there are a few festivals like Costa del Folk and the English Folk Expo that have agreed to have the performer, if they're not doing a physical festival, they will at least do an online broadcast and sort of give a virtual concert. And then there's all kinds of like radio promotion, and we'll sort of put some press releases out about the winner and try and generate them some public awareness that way. And then we've got some music industry coaches, as we mentioned earlier, to come and give them some support on that side of things. And then a couple of companies like JWC, who gave me this, are also donating a guitar to the winner, and APS Speakers are giving a set of their classic pair out to the winner as well. So there's a bunch of prizes on a number of different levels. We want to spoil the winner.
Spoil. And the other thing which I love about the competition, you made this point before, but many competitions, they say you've got to pay to enter. The great thing about this, it's everybody's favorite 4-letter word. It's free to enter. Free to enter.
It started as an initiative just to bring people together during the lockdown. So I didn't want them to be put off because either they couldn't afford it or they felt like it was just another business. That's not what this was about. Sure. And we'll see where that leaves me in the end. But it really genuinely is free for people to enter. And
the other great thing, 2 other things to enter, is that you don't have to be a performer yourself. It's all about the song. Somebody else can perform it. It's all about that sort of side. And also, you don't need to spend a fortune on production.
No, we're just looking for demos really. You can submit a fully produced track, but we will only be judging it on the songwriting, not on the performance and not on the production. So you don't even have to be the one to perform it. I would encourage people to sing their own songs, but if they're not comfortable, we recognize that those are separate skills and you're welcome to bring in somebody else to sing and play it for you.
And whatever happens, the winner, we're going to have a few people coming on the show on the lead up throughout this competition. It's the whole of the month of February, but get your entries in as soon as possible. The winner will come and appear on the Andrew Eborn show. They can either sing it themselves or somebody really famous to sing the song, which would be wonderful.
Is that a direct offer, Andrew? I'll hold you to it.
Oh, you're welcome anytime. I love it. This is my personal serenade. While the venues are closed, come on the Andrew Eborn show.
All right.
It's going to be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. People can find all the details. Tell them where they have to go to sign up, and they can sign up now.
Yes, you can sign up now. It's on talentistimeless.com, and you can find us on all the socials at @talentistimeless or @talenttimeless on Twitter, because Talent is Timeless didn't fit in there.
TTT, I love it. T3, absolutely. It's one of the longest URLs ever, isn't it? You've got to keep going. But it's,
I think it could have been worse. I was very grateful. It was free, actually. I didn't know why people haven't sort of done this concept before, but it was available on all platforms.
It is a brilliant initiative. It's one which I thoroughly support. I'm so delighted. I will continue having these personal concerts. You're back anytime at all. It was wonderful. You're going to play us out. What are you drinking, by the way? We've all got our cups of tea. It all looks rather wonderful.
Cheers. We're drinking the same thing. I have a herbal tea called Throat Coat, and it's to help with singing.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was Tom Waits who said what you need are three things. You need three things to write a good song. You need the place, you need the weather, and something to drink. I rather suspect Tom Waits was not talking about Throat Coat.
Probably not, but you never know.
You never know. You never. What are you going to play us out with?
I'm going to play the song you requested last time but couldn't do because I needed a bit more support, and we are going to do the acoustic version of For You.
Oh, I love it. Okay, well, to play us out then, Saskia and fellow musicians, thank you so much for joining me. And this is For You.
If you have a home to go to, a door that's always open for you, family and friends who know your name, living in an ever after, spending all your time together, knowing things will always be the same. And if you find that you've nowhere to go, that you need is right here for you, for you, for you, for you. Is out to get you, you're struggling to find a way through, losing strength or fighting your way back. We'll take a minute to imagine words are nothing without actions. Step away 'cause opposites attract. Find that you've nowhere to go, all that you need is right
Come on, come on. And what I love is like personal requests as well. Is there no end to this? This competition is not just running for fair. We're going to keep going and going and going. Saskia and chums, thank you so much. It is lovely, lovely to see you as always. We'll get you back with more of the judges. But for now, thanks very much for being my guests.
Thanks, Andrew.
Bye-bye. Bye. So Saskia, Coco and Aeron, thank you very much again for being my guests here on the Andrew Eborn Show. And don't forget, if you want to take part in the Talent is Timeless songwriting competition, get along to their website now, talentistimeless.com. It is open throughout February. Glorious prizes, fantastic, legendary judges, and what could be a really great start to a long and prosperous songwriting career. But for me, for now, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.